These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics.
The intro just does not hit the same when you're trying to be quiet. We're back. Another episode of How About Them Celtics. Jack is trying to be respectful at the Garden after an electric win. Jack, you were there. Your favorite player.
Thank you.
Excellent game. You must have needed the heart
Derrick White was
monitor on
awesome.
the ninth floor.
Yeah, I was hyped up. Before we get into the game, I will say I think we're going to test putting this on audio platforms, which is funny because I'm whispering for the first time. We're going to try putting it on audio platforms.
I forgot about that.
But just for the game recaps that don't fit into the schedule of our normal podcast, I think we're going to try to put them up on audio platforms so people can get reactions to games. But yeah, Derrick White was awesome. I'll pull up the box score on the screen here, so everyone can look at it while we talk. Derrick White finished the game, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 9 of 15, 5 of 7. He was kind of just sick. At the words of Joe Mazzulla, every play he made was just sick. Like, that's the only word.
That's what he said?
Yeah, verbatim.
I actually really like that. I'll say this is every single one of those 3 blocks was fucking emphatic. Just electric. He got Butler, all of them on Butler? I think he got all of them on Butler.
Let me check. I know 2 were on Butler. I don't know about the other third.
But you also had Holiday with the block.
Yes.
Come on, Jaime Hawkins.
All 3 on Butler.
Yeah.
all 3 on Jimmy. Wow.
What a fourth quarter you got from Derrick White. My goodness. Just comes out. He's making tough floaters on the drive, hitting threes. He just became a man possessed. It was excellent. This was a crazy game, and I know we're going to get to it, but if you just look at the scoring disparity as you look at the box score, look at all those points for the starters.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we were talking about it up on the ninth floor during the game. At halftime, they looked kind of bad in the first half. They're like stagnant. And I was talking to Justin Turpin in the hallway, who writes for WEI, and he comes up to me. He goes, "They're just too talented. Like they're just better. Like they're just
they are
not playing good, but they just have better players in the Heat." And that's what happened. I'll read it here. Jaylen Brown 27, Tatum 22, Kristaps 17, Derrick White 28, Holiday 17, and the bench had 8 combined. It just
you know what the most
are better.
Electric part of all of those points is the only guy of the starting 5, and mind you, all of them had 17 or more, to shoot less than 50% was Tatum. The rest 50% or better. That's awesome. Efficiency from your top guys is super important. Tatum 10 threes. Don't love that. But yeah, just all around sharing the wealth. This is what you really dreamed of when you saw this roster come together. I do have some thoughts on the starting lineup. It may become a situational thing, but at the end of the day, all of the numbers did come from the starters, right? I don't know who you want to talk about next, but quick rat tip is Bam. He had a monster game at the hands of Kristaps, at the demise of Kristaps, who fouled out because he just could not handle Bam down low.
Yeah, Kristaps wasn't great. He was the only plus minus in the team. He was a -12, which is pretty significant. Not a very good game from him. But he was still efficient. He still grabbed 9 boards, still got 3 steals, still got a block. Like, he was still fine. Like, it wasn't
best bad game ever.
Exactly. I'd say the second best guy, you could argue it was Jaylen Brown. I think it was Drew Holiday. I mean, Drew Holiday was awesome in this game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, got a block too, 7 of 13, 1 of 4. Like, he was everywhere. He was doing everything. He was guarding Jimmy. He was guarding the guards. He was blowing up his pick and rolls. He was coming over to help. Like, he did a little bit of everything in this game, and it really felt like, okay, this is why you traded for Drew Holiday.
Yeah. The funny thing about this game is it felt like the way a team up in a superhero movie culminates. Everybody played a part in this game. You said it. Drew Holiday might have been the second best guy behind Derrick White or Jaylen Brown. Both of those guys played massive roles at different parts of the game. Drew Holiday, all around solid, like you said, filled the stat sheet, had a big block on Hawkes in the fourth quarter. It was definitely when they were kind of reeling, and it was like big momentum swing play. It was huge. But as for Jaylen, Him and O'Shea Brisset galvanized the fellas in the first half there when they were absolutely on the ropes, looked terrible to start this game. Miami comes out, punches them in the mouth. We're all like, oh man, like Celtics have some work to do here. And then O'Shea comes in. Jaylen Brown starts to see the ball find the bottom of the net. He was not perfect today.
Yeah. Did I freeze or did you? It might have been me because I'm at the Garden.
It might have been both.
All right. Well, we'll see in post. Yeah. I think the energy of Jaylen in that first half was huge. Obviously, everyone saw the big inbound steal that led to the dunk. That was super cool. And
we didn't see it, actually.
I mean,
they didn't catch it on camera.
Okay. But even before that, like the play before that was Derrick White driving and finding Drew Holiday cutting. And like everything came together nicely, especially on a night where the offense looked kind of meh again for most of the first 2-3 quarters. Like they just didn't pass. It was all attacking mismatches and hoping things worked out. And sometimes it did, like Tatum bullying Jaime Jaquez, and sometimes it didn't, like them taking stupid shots without passing the ball much. But Jaylen was awesome again. Yeah, there were a lot of that. I will also say, I had a thought and I lost it. Hold. Okay. Shit.
You want to talk about Tatum?
Oh no. Sorry. I found it because you mentioned his name. O'Shea Brisset was awesome. Like he ruled. He was the game changer. What a debut with only like 2 points. He was awesome. Early in this game, the Heat were getting a stop, and because Kristaps was shooting a 3, they were just leaking out in transition, and no one was back in time, or no one was there to get the rebound. So then they were able to get in transition. O'Shea Brisset came in the game. He completely mucked up the offensive glass and the defensive glass. Like he completely changed the rebounding. He was cutting on everything. He got the Celtics like 5 extra possessions on his own. And Joe Mazzulla after the game said, like, yeah, we got him in there and he really changed the momentum. I asked Joe Mazzulla about the momentum after the game, and he talked about it on the Reddick pod, and well, first he said that's a really scientific question there. He gave me some answer, but like O'Shea Brisset, the game that was looking like, okay, Miami's going to take over this game because the Celtics don't have the chemistry. O'Shea Brisset came in and said, okay, no, let me get in here, do exactly like the role that I've been assigned to do, and change the course of the game.
New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube at YouTube TV.
He literally was getting offensive rebounds on free throws. That does not happen in the NBA. And it wasn't because the ball was going right to him. He was beating guys, getting around them, and he got the extra possessions like you mentioned. And he turned the game on its head. He's like the sneaky player of the game, +7. He only played 14 minutes. But those 5 rebounds he got were huge. 3 of them more offensive. He had a big dunk over Jaquez, who had a rough night on the end of the highlights. I'll tell you that. But it really ruled for him to come in a debut moment. Didn't play on Wednesday against the Knicks, and he was ready to do his job. Not to rip off the Patriots, who, you don't really want to take too much from them right now.
That's a good slogan to take from them, though. We can take it.
Yeah. But man, did he look just prepared, ready to contribute. Mm-hmm. And really everybody that played was just about ready to do what they could. Al Horford was 0 of 6, but he was still, oddly enough, solid. He had 10 rebounds. And they brought him in after Porzingis gets into foul trouble early on, and he helped a little bit. Bam still had a monster game, but it was nice to have Horford in there. He was kind of doing everything he could without scoring to help them out. So good for Al. And then I guess we can get to Tatum, who played bully ball tonight quite a bit, and it ruled. That's what I like to see from him. He took a lot of threes too, but post-ups, took Jaquez, took Drew Smith a couple times. They had no answer for Tatum inside. I feel like all of his baskets, even though he made 3 threes, came on the block.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was aggressive. I'm trying to find it now. I wonder how many of those threes were in the second half in the fourth quarter. It felt like he started chucking later on. Actually, they're pretty even throughout, but he was really going at Jaime Jaquez early there. That was part of what I was talking about when I said they're basically just attacking mismatches. When I said that, you should interpret they were just attacking Jaime Jaquez. Like they were bullying that guy the whole game. And Tatum did a good job at it. And to his credit, like he finished the first half with like 14, 5 and 5. Like he did everything for the Celtics. He didn't get any more assists in the second, but he was all over the place for them. He was a team high +13 despite his poor shooting. with Tatum on the floor, there's going to be an impact. He's just too good for there not to be. So, shout out that. Yeah.
The assist numbers still weren't that great overall. Only 20 on the night. They made 45 shots, so it's less than half of the shots were assisted on. Want to see that number to continue to increase as the season goes on. It's only been 2 games, so what are you going to do? But, speaking of the young season, this is 2 for 2 games that the Celtics have just had to survive onslaughts from three-point land. My God, Miami, what they end up shooting? What was the final number? 48.5 from 3, 16 of 33. Unbelievable.
math.
Kyle Lowry, 13 points that should have never happened.
I did the math. Through the first 2 games of the season, Celtics opponents are shooting 45.9% from 3.
Is that, in your opinion, the Celtics' fault? Do you think the Celtics are leaving guys and slacking on the defensive end? Because watching these games, it doesn't feel like that.
I think it's a balance. I think, and I've wrote about this a couple times for Celtics blog, the Celtics defense this year is very Kristaps in the paint, everyone else scramble. And so a lot of times you'll see Drew or Derrick or Jaylen scramble to help. And as a result, because they're scrambling, a guy will be open at the 3-point line. And so sometimes it's a case of this guy's open because the Celtics took chances on defense and tried to force something. But other times it is Kyle Lowry hitting a contested 3 in transition, or Drew Smith hitting a transition 3 from 30 feet. Like, there's only so much you can control. And I think it's a healthy balance of the two, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I'm sick of it. It's been 2 games. I've seen enough threes going, and I've seen enough second chance points for the opposition. Felt like Miami got a lot of second chances. They didn't get more offensive rebounds than the Celtics. Celtics got about
that's
5
the other
on
thing.
the offensive glass.
That's the other thing. The Celtics dominated the glass. The Celtics got so many rebounds. They had 55 total, 16 offensive, and Cam had it after the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys had 5 or more. It's like they realized the offensive glass killed them against the Knicks, and they said, all right, everyone is getting rebounds this game.
That's good, though. That's important. And Miami's not like a small team. Bam is one of the better big men in the league. They had to deal with him. Kevin Love had a big night rebounding, especially early. He had 6 in the first quarter, only finished with 9. They didn't really struggle, though. Good for them. That's huge, especially with the not running with the double bigs off rip. It hurt them on defense, but at least they were able to rebound okay.
Yeah. And Sam, big thing for you. I'm going to fact check myself here so I'm not wrong. Before I say something that I think is incorrect. Yeah, okay, I'm correct. These are 2 clutch time wins. They were within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. That determines them as a clutch game. The Celtics have not been a good clutch team in the past few years. They opened the season with 2 clutch wins against 2 teams that were red hot from 3. It's huge.
Do we have plus minus in the fourth quarter so far, the net rating in the fourth quarter? Because it feels like they have turned it up in the fourth quarter and went to another level. Just to your point, I think it looked awesome tonight against the Knicks. They managed to scrape out a win in a game that didn't necessarily look like it was going their way. What was it?
This is the fourth quarter on the screen. They were plus 9 in the fourth quarter.
Plus 9. And then what did they do Wednesday? I don't know.
I'm looking.
Whatever.
I'm looking.
I'm pretty sure they won that one too. So that's a pretty good net rating through 2 games if they did. Even if they just tied, it was pretty good.
Against the Knicks, they were
they lost.
They were -5. So
yeah,
I know what you mean though. The Celtics in the fourth quarter, let's call it the last 5 minutes. Like, they played really well in the last 5 minutes because they ripped off I think it was a 15-5 run to end the Knicks game. So they've been really good in the final moments, which is what you want to see.
And they've also been pretty good in the swing moments, the other clutch moments that aren't necessarily the last 5 minutes of the game. Miami had a chance to kind of put this game away in the first half, or at least make it much harder for the Celtics to come back. Boston never let it get past 13, despite Bam coming out a man possessed. In the Knicks game, there were several stretches there where it was like Celtics fumbling. Okay, they recover and they build it back up to double digits, and then they fumble again, and then they build it back up. There was never the complete turnover in the Knicks game, and they never let this game tonight get out of hand. And once they got themselves back into the game, the most I think they went back down was 6 because Duncan Robinson hit a pair of threes in a row. Other than that, they did a great job at managing the deficit. And that is such a key thing. This team looks much more poised in the big moments, and I'm excited to see them continue to build off that. They have Washington Monday, Jordan Poole and the fellas.
Yeah. Anything else that I missed? Any Heat players? Tyler Hero was really good in this
Tyler
one. He was
Hero was a real
annoying.
pain in the ass.
We can do let's do the annoyance rankings quick. Number 1.
Hero, Lowry, Bam.
Sure.
Just because
Yeah,
it feels
but-
like Bam was the most is supposed to be this great, and he only shot 41%. Even though it felt like he was dominating, he still missed 14 shots. He took a lot of shots, but Hero had an efficient game.
Yeah, he was hitting everything early. We wanted to do player of the game. This isn't the best game to do it because it's kind of obvious.
What's Derrick White?
Yeah, it was Derrick White. Now,
he had an excellent showing.
Now, Sam, we should also do the rat of the game.
Okay. Now, is this solely based on performance?
I think it's healthy I think it should go to the most annoying player on the opposition.
What was Lowry?
Because I think part of me wants to go Tyler Hero because he was just really good, but Kyle Lowry was also just very annoying in this game, as he always is. So I think it's a balance. Who do we want to give
It's Lowry.
the inaugural?
Drew Smith sleeper.
Okay.
3 threes from Drew Smith.
He was good.
And
Drew
3
Smith
steals.
is the guy they converted from a 2-way contract. Shocker. I'll go Hero just because I think he was making some shots that he's not usually making, and he was with Porzingis in the drop. He was living in that mid-range area, just hitting floaters, which is frustrating. But yeah, fair. First rat of the game. There you go. Hero versus Lowry. Let us know what you think. Thank y'all for tuning in to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate you. This is going to be our first test run putting these post-game things on audio platforms. You'll only see this if the game is on a night that doesn't come right before the night we drop. Like, these will usually be baked into the full episodes, but since we don't drop on Saturday, we're putting this out just so the audio listeners can get our reactions to the game. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out so I can go get the tea.
Yes, let Jack get home. So subscribe to the channel, leave a like, hit the notification bell. I'm not going to do the whole spiel on that. You can find us on the audio platforms, even this one, Spotify, Apple. Leave a follow, 5-star review, say something nice. Social media at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's just the name of the podcast.
Playback Monday.
Playback. Yes, Monday. Wizards. Be there. You can follow Jack on Twitter at JackSimoneNBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.